Good morning. It is now Thursday live at the same venue with no one present, but hopefully people are about to wander in through the screen. While I wait for you all to wander in, I'll give you a little bit of information about what's going on. Number one, it is great to be alive. Number two, we are still in lockdown. And number three, good morning, Helen. Today you will use your roller. If you don't have a roller, then of course you can still do the same workout, although today's workout is centered around this roller being a part of what your body relates to and communicates through. Good morning, Leslie too. So we're using the roller. It's going to be very much a technical workout in relationship to finding your core, to find your center, breathing and connecting with this piece of equipment. The roller is what we're doing. Good morning to Eugene also. Isn't the weather lovely, people? Aren't we having a great morning? Patricia, great to see you in the room, and Lindsay too. Your rollers need to be at hand. Emily Rose watching also. Get your rollers ready and listen to some of the kind of information about the workout while I welcome people in. The workout is about centering the body. You're going to use your roller and try and get it to be part of you rather than finding it as something you with and can't make sense of. If you do the breathing, you will find your center and connection with your roller. Good morning, Diane. The roller will therefore help you make more sense of alignment and symmetry. Good morning, Sarah and Ken. Great to see Ken in the room too. Ken, I think you're, along with many others actually, in fact most of us, we're on video 59. We do realise we've got a big birthday, don't we, tomorrow morning with Tom. What will we do to celebrate that big birthday? It's the big 6-0 tomorrow. So assuming we're all well, we need to find a way of making that a really fun moment. I was saying to the people as they're wandering in, it is the roller, and the roller will be there not to battle with, not to challenge you to feel it's, oh my goodness, it's so hard. It is here to make sense of your breath and a connection significantly with this, which we're calling the center. Good morning, Anne. Remember, your center is everything. If you think of the navel down to where the thigh starts, think of that as your center of operations. Good morning, Susan, too. Getting your rollers ready. The roller is here for you to make sensational connection with your breathing. The breathing enlivens the whole trunk, and with your center. Pilates often, good morning, Lorna. Helen Rollers is going to do us a cocktail tomorrow morning to celebrate the big 6-0. Wouldn't that be amazing? The 6-0 is video 60, just in case you're not sticking with it. The roller is here to make sense of your central operational area here, which is your pelvic floor, your deep obliques, intra-abdominal area, which cannot have anything except with the breathing activation. And it's a hello to Carol too. Find your rollers, children. Get ready on your mat. You will be starting in a standing position. I've deliberately kind of put a mat straight ahead of me because I have to teach you at an angle to give you the best profile of a kind of 3D image. I find my gaze, I'm looking this way and my body's facing that way, and that really isn't great practice, and I'm doing it like all morning, so I've decided to change my approach. You're using your roller. Your roller will be used in a standing position to start with. If you're trying to get yourself ready as more people wander in, that's fine. Good morning, Mena. Using our roller, using our breathing, our center. Our center is our core. You cannot breathe and find central operational core positioning without knowing where your core actually is. Good morning, Donna, too. You'll use your roller initially in this position here. If I face the screen showing you your setup, as you're wandering in and wondering what's going on, and it's a good morning to Margaret Lead. You're using your roller to connect the breath more intensely and more acutely, more meaningfully to your core. Your core, your center, I want you to think about, is the whole of the pelvis. Every exercise I cue you into today is to bring that sensation of a connection. You will think it, feel it, find it, and I suspect that actually it's in hindsight, maybe when you do this video again in the comfort of your own home at your own pace, that more and more sense will be made of it. I'm demonstrating this standing shape, the position that you want to find yourself in. Make sure you've got space around you. The first few exercises are stood. we go to seated, and then we go to kind of using the roller across the upper back. If I get us going with the breathing, as we wait for more people to find their connections on the internet, inhaling and exhaling, if all you do right now is the gentle sway forwards and backwards, but don't mindlessly do it. The discipline of today's workout is that you mindfully, inhaling and exhaling, feel for where the roller physically is at the top of the thighs, gently pulled in. Keep moving as I'm doing. I'm doing this little sway that I've introduced in the last few days. Your shoulder blades, as you keep this sway going, are gently pulling backwards. The chest opens. The inhaling and exhaling. Deliberately now feeling for the squishiness of the surface under your feet. Okay, keep the breathing, inhaling and exhaling. Don't worry, it gets more exciting than this, but this is a fundamental setup. The next time your body sways to and fro, settle yourself in that place where you know you've got a general distribution of the weight from the feet, the knees are soft, the arches are activated, the toes are spread. Keeping your arms and the roller where it is, your elbows will bend to squat and stand. Okay, people, we'll keep the squat going. I'm going to be generalist now. The first thing you're tagging into your experience is the inhaling and the exhaling. Because I know who's in the room and I know how they squat. Some of you go at this as though the faster you do it, the sooner it'll be over and you can move on. Lindsay Henratty, take note. Go down to the squat, push out of the squat. The pace that I'm demonstrating and cueing is it. Keep the squat going, so the breath is already happening, isn't it? Now sense how you feel the roller gently pushing onto the thigh bones. There should be an equal sensation, not a force, there's no force in this, it's a gentle sensation, connection, noticing. Notice the roller on both thighs. Does it slightly lift off one thigh, or does it stay absolutely equal sensation? Now keep these squats going at my pace. Do you also feel both hands equal sensation of touch on the roller? So I've got the palm of my hands on the roller. I'm inhaling and exhaling, deliberately applying a very gentle connection, feeling for the thigh and for the hands on the roller. Keep moving with the squats. As you're squatting, you're actually hinging at all the good big joints, hip joint being the biggest one, that's your centre, then the knees, the ankles, the elbows, the spinal column staying in its true neutral. The breath in and out, allowing you to create a deeper connection between the hands and the thighs. Next time you go down, stay. We're now going to tune into the lower back. Breathe deeply in and out and keep the centre connection through pelvic floor, the load equal through the feet, the elbows are still bent in, and the thigh bones feel an equal load, not massive load, it's a connection. To the heels of the hands, pull your shoulder blades back to get more connection with the armpit. On the next breath out, you've got your pelvic tilt, not your bum squeeze. So breathe in as you prep. Exhaling, pelvic curl, and give chance for both sides of the pelvis to work in simultaneous unison. Breathe in, you've now got a lumbar spine stretch. Exhale, keeping your shoulder blades drawn towards each other, let the tailbone go away from that position. I'm going to demonstrate it from the side. The breath out is the pelvic floor navel to spine. The breath in, you stay into that lower back imprint stretch, and the breath in, breath out, go back again. Do that a couple more times. Notice whether both sides of your pelvis naturally work sequentially, or whether one side seems a bit twisted. Also notice if the thigh bones suddenly feel less of the roller on one side or the other. Your rib cage is still part of the cueing, and if you're doing this to the point of excellence and therefore transitional change, the upper back muscles are helping stabilize between the shoulder blades as you do this pelvic hydration mobilization. On the next breath out then, pelvic tilt, stay, breathe in. Now we're going to roll the spine down. Exhale, you've kept your pelvic tilt. Pull your chin to your throat and allow the arms to push
and follow the roller down, maybe past your knees, depending on your ability. Don't crush the roller. Notice it, sense it, keep your heels loaded, and you're not overly tucking your back under. You are in a roll down spine shape. Breathe deeply in. Breathing out, notice the pressure of the roller on the quads, the thighs, as you return the spinal column in its sequence. Up it comes, resisting twist, and as you come back up, stay. Stay where you are. You're now ready for a little bit more technical awareness of the upper back. First of all though, exhaling, pelvic tilt, and inhale, let the pelvis go back to neutral. Breathe out, draw the pelvic floor up, shrink the tummy in. The session is all about noticing and connecting. The pelvic hip bones curl, and you create like a kind of a waist smile. Think of your hip bones smiling as you pelvic tilt. As those muscles, they're called obliques, just draw the hip bones as your lower back flattens without any glute tension, and then your lower back lumbar spine allows itself back to neutral. Stay in your neutral and go to the upper body now. You're still keeping the breathing. Inhale, pull the shoulder blades back in together, the roller will slide slightly up. Exhale and pull down, and the roller will slide down. Inhaling, shoulders squeeze up, you're staring straight ahead. You're perfectly poised in your standing posture. While you do this, don't let any other part of your posture go. You're meant to have a standing stabilizing position where all of the muscles responsible for postural stability are now awake in you. The collarbones stay wide and reaching. Your upper back muscles, the mid-rhomboid, mid-traps, feel that there's a connection with the thigh. Your core connection therefore takes you through the breath from the armpit down to where the hands are on the roll, which is the thighs. Stay where you are. We're going back into our squats. So squat and stand with a little bit more sense of connection. Inhaling, up you go. Breathe out. The body should be calibrating better. In other words, any discrepancies, which we all have, are now starting to disappear. Hamstring becomes increasingly involved, and as you're bending and standing, the pelvic position, in theory, will be more neutral. If you're not using your breath out to core connect, you won't be using your abdominal stability, and your back extensors have been working like crazy. I suspect, Emma Burns, that's possibly what could be your default setting. Everyone go down and stay. Staying down there then, final mobilization, you're in neutral spine. Exhaling, as you start to bend the chin to the chest, roll the roller, feel its equal pressure, gentle pressure on both thighs, as you end up down into your position there. Fingertips to the floor, roller maybe around the knee area. Breathe out, pelvic roll, reversing the journey of the spine, keeping the load equal in the forearm and the thigh as you come all the way up to stand. Stay where you are, open those collarbones, shoulder blades, and on the breath out then, we take it to tiptoes, and on the inhale back down. This is particularly hard. Notice the pressure on the hand and the thigh and in the upper back. And exhaling. Inhaling. Exhaling. If you keep the sensation of the breath, number one, always, and then the thighs, the roller, and the kind of upper body through the hand, you will core connect appropriately and challenge all of the stabilizing muscles that are responsible for your ankle rolls. Last time. And down you go. From that position there then, bring the hands together, stay in your strong position, and circle one arm and bring it back. Breathe. Circle the other arm. Why am I doing this? As you take your arm up and circle it, you don't want the pelvis to shift. Now watch your arm go, so you end up with a little bit of a upper body shoulder area. I did some side bending in our Zoom sessions, and the default setting is that people move the pelvis and the lower back inappropriately. It should be through the shoulder. So you kind of got this circling. It's limited because we're not moving anything but the shoulder.
stay still. And the roller in that moment was stabilising your centre connection, noticing the pelvis doesn't move. Change your position. You don't have to turn around. I'm turning around to give you a cue. The roller's going to go behind you. It's going to be here. If you have your feet, I suspect almost off the sides. If you've got a normal width mat, you'll be almost off the edges. Both feet level with each other. You're in a bit of turnout. You've already now got the sensation of opening the collarbone, shoulders away from the neck, and the knees are soft. Bend off with those knees a tad. Refuse to grip your bum cheeks. Shrink the tummy in. You're ready, therefore, to go into your widest squat. It's the sumo squat as you go down and up. In your mind, see a straight line, follow it down and follow it back up. In other words, that line goes from down a wall, through the floor, back through the floor, up the wall. Breathing. What are you noticing in this position? You're noticing the back of the pelvis, the sacrum, and your upper back. If it's in your lower back, you're failing to connect pelvic floor with the core. Keep noticing the light connection. It's as though you're pushing the roller back with your sit bones or with your sacrum. Your glutes are meant to bulk up as you do this movement pattern. The inner thighs go wide, and your brief today is notice that as you breathe, the pressure that's light and encouraging of the foam roll on the back of the pelvis. Notice how the connection with the upper back, as you keep your arms in this shape, connects, making a whole body experience. Okay, people, go down and stay. Breathing. Pull your thighs wider. Obviously, if it's in your knees, adjust the position. Exhaling then, go back to that pelvic tilt without your upper back going anywhere. So pelvic tilt, don't squeeze the bum. Breathe in into the lumbar area that's now hydrating. And then breathing out, go back into neutral. Big breath in, tongue back gates late. Exhale, don't squeeze the glutes, do find your obliques. And get that sense of a lovely lightning release of the lumbar. And back again. I'm holding my roller lightly but securely at either end. And the only part of my mind being mobilised is the lower back. When we say the lower back's being mobilised, it's not feeling activated, it's feeling blessed. The next time you find yourself in your neutral, stay. Keep the roller equal both sides. If you can't feel equal both sides, something's wrong. Now you're deepening the position of the wide position of the plie. The deepening opens your hips, keeps the muscles that make the inner thigh and the inside of the knee joint strong. Your heels need to be dominant and your weight sits back, remember. If you feel that the hips are twisting, then they are. The roller is there for you to notice and therefore make a stronger connection. The upper back is still working. Just do 2 more for me. Come on, go down and stay. This next bit's beautiful. Big breath in. I'm going to roll down from the chin to the throat. My roller stays where it is. Then I'm going to push my roller up and above, and I'm sending myself down as far as my body's allowing. My legs have straightened out. Big breath in. Breathing out, I'm going to leave my roller reaching to the sky. Pelvic tilt to roll your spine back up. And you'll find yourself into a perfectly poised position. Core connect, pelvic floor, navel to spine, and then press the roller back and pull it back to your pelvis. On this moment here then, the aim is that you keep the symmetry of the arms reaching back and pulling in. If you'd rather have narrower legs, by all means change them, that's fine. Our attention, keep moving, is through the upper back, in the tricep area. The shoulders can't hunch up. As your roller goes away, you feel the tricep. As your roller comes back, it should land on the bum cheeks equally. Breath out and breathe in and return. You're in your standing postural position. If you've still got your legs wide, I'm going to suggest you do bring them back to parallel just for the final moment here. So I'll give you a chance to change. You're pushing your arms away, the crown of the head's reaching up. Everything I've taught so far in this last 15 minutes now is in play. You never leave behind something that got activated in the exercise regime. The whole exercises, they build and build and build. It's like making a cake. We're getting everything ready to get a good result at the end of the moment. The next time your arms are behind you, stay. Don't grip the bum cheeks. Do keep the chin in. Bend the elbow and extend the elbow. Bend the elbow. Again, the roller must touch both sides and level bum cheeks as you come in and out. If because you're really tight in the chest you can't do that, just stick to having the roller here and gaining some space from your overly indulged work life, I suspect. Otherwise, you've got your bit of a tricep, kick back. It's more of a lengthener and a strengthener of the stabilisers than anything else. We've just got one more. Our legs aren't locked out. Our pelvic position isn't gripped, it's neutral. The crown of the head's reaching. There's not a moment to relax because we're here for a reason. You've got one more moment to push, pull the belly button to the spine, and then let that go. Okay, children, we're going to go to the floor. Come to seated. Your first position here is far more intense. Just in that seated for people as they get older, unless you're a bender Wendy, it becomes more, what's the word, restricted. But we never give up being seated. As long as we can get there without any shearing pain, we stay there. First of all, make sure both feet are level with an edge. Using an edge will always make sense for the body to connect. Once you've got your feet level with each other, check the knee joints are level and sit up as tall as you can. To help you do that, pull the roller against the knees, and the rules are notice to connect. With your roller against your knees, good morning Angela McCartan, glad you've joined us. Your roller's against your knees, your hands are open as wide as your chest is. The breathing is already happening in your seated shape. So inhale to prepare, and exhale and sit up together. You'll feel the sternum, the cleavage, the breastbone lift. Inhaling and exhale. I ask that you notice, so we notice now the sit bones feeling equal load beneath us. Keep breathing. You also notice the hip bones at the front, the bikini area, feeling tight because the hip flexor and the obliques connect there. You're breathing. Your lower back should feel pleasant. Inhaling and exhaling. Now we get some reward. We've got spine rolling forwards and backwards. Don't brush off. Notice, connect. Breath in to prepare. It's a huge inhale. Breathing out. Don't let your roller move, but bend chin to chest and rib cage. Your elbows bend a bit more. Now breathe in. Breathing out. Now roll the roller down your shins to wherever your back allows you to go. Huge breath in. Exhale, roll the roller back up, keeping the chin down until you end up back at your knee joint. Stay, your arms are now straight, big breath in. Breathe out and bend your elbows and lift the sternum to the ceiling. Please stay here, people. Have both kneecap areas got equal connection to the roller? Are both hands equally pulling against the roller? Remember, you're not trying to break it in half, Tom. Big breath in. Exhale. Are you ready to go the other way? Keep your arms still. Pull your chin to your chest, breathing out. Breathe in. Get your head as close to that roller as you can. Breathe out. Roll the roller down and follow it wherever it takes your spine. Hugely inhale here to hydrate the back. Exhaling. Start to bend your elbows to pull that roller back up to your knee joint. Big breath in. Exhale, keep your elbows bent, pull gently against the roller. Keep the elbows back as you take yourself into the extension of the upper back. Big breath in and breathing out, let that go. From that position there, take the roller into at either end, so you're holding it like so. Once you're holding your roller like I've demonstrated, put the roller back onto the knees. We're ready to get the pelvis to move. Big breath in. Keep breathing and listen to what you have to notice. You're breathing in and out, so it's big breaths. The hip bones have to feel settled from left to right frontal in the bikini area, and the sitting bones have to feel equal load. To get good pelvic roll,
you will pelvic floor tilt and you slide that roller halfway down to the thighs or wherever your pelvic flexion to the lumbar takes you. Equal connection to both thighs. Note, breathe in. Breathe out, pull your chin to your chest as you slide the roller forwards and back over the knee all the way to your ankle. Breathe in. Pull the roller back to the top of the knees. Are both knees level? Mine are now, they twisted. It's the pelvis that twists, not the knees. Exhaling. Stare at your roller. Pelvic floor navel to spine. Be mesmerised by taking the roller down with equal connection to both thighs. The pelvis behind you feeling equal connection. Breathe in. Push the roller as though you could squeeze it into its the shorter length as you roll with forwards bending spine all the way to your ankles. Big breath in. Breathing out. Exhaling. Slide that roller up. People, you're going to come and sit up tall again. You're now a bit freer in the back. We're going to go to the upper back. Breathe in. On the breath out, float your roller to wherever your shoulder allows. Breath in. And breathing out, notice that the roller comes down absolutely level. Breathe. Exhale, grow tall. And float that roller up to wherever it goes. Shoulders away from the neck. Your bikini area working really hard. Take it back again. Remember, you find a seat to lean back position that is comfortable for your posture. Up we go again. Reaching. And turn and look the other side next time. Reaching, inhale, turn. And so this is the start of rotation. Breathe in, float the roller up, turn the neck, the head, and back again. Last time to the other side. Breathing, turn, and return. From here, exhale, roll a little bit further back. Are you ready? Shrink the tongue, hollow the abs. You're going to bring the roller onto its end and watch it do that. I'm looking at it, my thighs are level. You're going to then bring the roller, check out both knees are level. It's like a spirit measure, spirit level. Breathe in, breathe out other way. Take it to its vertical position. Feel the opposite oblique, resist, twist, and come back to here. Breathe. Your sensation is of the obliques, which feel a connection right the way from hip bone to hip bone. Breathing, we go. There. And as the posture at the pelvis, the centre, resists twist, the connection is quite intense as your pelvis stays true, and therefore you're creating stability. Let that go back into rolling down and rolling up. Just 2 or 3 more, so kind of chasing away the shortening that was going on rightly so in the flexors and the obliques. 1 more. And stay back in your lean position. Put one hand on the roller, and that one hand is going to keep the roller equal load on both knees. Inhale and reach, touch, exhale and return. Other side, breathe. Inhale, reach, touch, exhale and back. If your reach, keep going. If your reach is only to the side, that is completely fine. The significance is your centre, remember. And if your shoulder only allows this kind of movement here, then that too is your level. All right, this is your last one. Everyone, in this shape here, the oblique should be firing up like billy-ho. If you can roll all the way down now, take the posture all the way down. Have the biggest reach backwards to enjoy the hips opening. Stay there for a few moments, letting the flexors and the extensors have a chilled moment. I don't mind if your back's extended off the mat. Everything should be pleasant. But then to come back up again, inhale, take your roll to the ceiling. Exhale, and push your roller forwards. And you find yourself sat up and feeling gorgeous.
The roller is now going to go behind you. And when we teach the roller behind, the significance is that it has to be in just the right place. The only thing I can say to you, because I can't see you, is first of all, the roller needs to be equal length behind you. I check that out by thinking, can I equally get both hands to the end of the roller? If you have frozen shoulder, Leslie, you won't, but you can still get the general idea of what I'm asking for. The other thing is, the roller would be, you've got your shoulder blades, the lowest part of the shoulder blades is something called an inferior angle, 2 pinpoint areas. Imagine this, the base of the scapula, the shoulder blade, can just about know where that roller is. Now, Susan, hands, because your spine's relatively compact, be conscious if you're a shorter version of a spine, of just finding a place that's comfortable. That's all I can really say when I can't do a hands-on. Whichever way we continue, it matters that your feet are totally level with each other. So pull them together and then walk them apart. That then gives you your ability to have your hands on your knees. My arms are straight when I'm in the right place with my feet further forwards of my knees. My pelvis is therefore got space for the lumbar spine. My roller gets the sense of being just below my scapula, or think of the bra, men, just get and borrow one. First shape here then, be breathing in and out, pelvic tilt. It's not a big deep move because you've already taken some of the spine onto the roller. Breathe into your pelvic tilt and then breathe out and roll back. Remember, the pelvic tilt is simply an imprint. As the hip bones connect with your breath, and as your breath connects with the roller, in other words, breathe into the roller behind you, you'll find your perfect pelvic tilt. The pelvic tilt's relevance in Pilates is that it reorganizes the deeper muscles and challenges stabilization. Once you're happy that you've got your pelvic position accurate, which will be a gentle neutral, the next sense must be that the load between the back of both sit bones is level. The sense behind you on this roller should be that the load underneath both scapula is level. From that position there, put your hands behind your head, breathe in. On the next breath out, you will lift your hips up, pushing your knees forwards, staring straight ahead in the view of keeping symmetry. Breathe in and then breathe out into the roller. You're grounded through the heels and the roller, your hips go back down. Core connect, pelvic floor nail to spine, crown of the head is reaching as your knees push forwards. Have a breath in just here and breathe out into the roller. And there's the reliance on the foamy feel of the roller matters. And again, push against your feet. Hamstrings should connect. Bones are level. Breathe into the back of the rib cage. Breathe out, melt against the roller as the spine comes down, checking out its symmetry. This is your last one, and we're going to breathe in. Exhale, ribs, shrink, obliques, hamstrings, thighs are tram lines, stay. Hip bones need to be level in the plane of movement here. If you're comfortable with where you are, keep your hands behind your head, and now you're going to pull yourself over the scapula and push yourself back. Exhale, pull, and inhale, return. Breathing out, pulling the posture with the hamstrings and pushing with the hamstrings. So you pull and push is with the leg muscles, not the bum tightening. And the transference, the center, is feeding from the breath. So your abdominals feel less than as you mobilize and create core connection with the hamstring area. And the glutes will start to get involved, but you haven't squeezed your bum cheeks tight to achieve that. You focus the breathing on the pelvic floor, the navel to spine. Your hamstrings, you feel the heels pull you forwards, that activates the hamstring, and you feel the heels push you back, that lengthens. Feel it pull you forwards as you massage through the upper back and push back and stay where the scapula is on the edge of the roller again. Allow the rib cage, spine to lower you down. Walk your heels under you a little bit more now. We're going to do some back extension work, which matters. And it matters that if you're massively kyphotic, be careful, find your level. That means if your spine's very forwards bent, you're usually stiffer. Whichever way, you've woken up your stability, so go back to the hip lift now with the legs, heels under you a tad more. Inhaling, allow the back to extend down. Exhaling, curl up as though you're doing the ab prep. We're keeping the hamstring glutes connected. Inhale, the upper area, you lower down, hands cradling the skull. Exhaling, into the roll, remember, notice it. Pull yourself up. Breathing in. And breathing out to curl. You're not allowing the hips to twist. And the extension, and then the flexion, which is this moment here, is being achieved by the abdominal oblique. Do 2 more. Breathe to lower the thoracic area down. Breathe out to curl up. Are your hamstrings supporting your position? Because they should be. When you come up this time, stay and pull the hip bones down. You've just warmed up for a bigger move, which is about mobilising and stabilising. Make sure the back of the pelvis is most certainly level in your sensation behind you. Take your left arm to the ceiling. Inhale then and allow the spine to fold over the roller as far as it will go. You've got your right hand behind your head. Don't twist. Keep equal load and exhale. Back you go again. Keep going. Remember, these are the modifications. If for some reason your shoulder's really not happy, then allow the arm to go out sideways and match the roller, and then come back. If your your shoulder stabilising is fine for mobility, then go as far as the spine allows and come back. The inhale is your extended moment. This is the inhale. And the exhale appeals to the obliques and the abdominals to pull you back. Recalibrate, stay here, breathe. Put your other hand behind your head. Check that the sense and the connection behind you is equal. Don't assume the same from both sides of the body. Breathe in and allow the posture to fold and find the roller. Exhale and return back. Your front of shoulder feels nothing. Remember, if it's too intense at the front of the shoulder, allow the spine its freedom by letting your arm go out sideways and returning it back. That too is an exercise, so I have to choose what I do in these sessions, but your choice will always be out there, but ideally the posture wants to be able to go fully backwards with a relaxed shoulder joint and also fully sideways, because that's a different system of your shoulder. Okay people, that should have woken up everything across your upper back. To come out of that position then, put your hands on the roller and come all the way up. We're going to take the roller now into all fours. The upper spine, if it feels as though there's been a lot of activation in your upper body tomorrow, be glad. It's not wrong, it's right. Now if it went a bit lower down to your lumbar spine, again, it's not going to kill you. It'll just tell you that you weren't quite paying attention. We're using the roller lightly. This is pleasant. This is, I would have my hands slightly wider than the mat width because it's a normal mat width. I'm in my traditional all fours position. Feeding on from what you've just done then, on the breath out, core connect, and allow the roller to go away from you but still look as though you're trying to look over it. In the tucked under anywhere, pull the shoulders, armpits up and down. I'm now massaging the place and the posture that gets so little exposure, and you might feel a bit of clicking and gliding, sliding activation, as long as there's nothing pinching through the front of your shoulder, and as long as your core stabilising, it's pleasant. Okay, now big reach, big breath in. Go from looking at your roller, equal load through both forearms, and tuck the bottom under, and bring the posture all the way till your fingertips are light on the roller.
Now, keeping the equal load on the fingertips, inhale and exhale here. So the breath in and out is into a rounded spine shape, but you're keeping the core connection into your breathe. Breathe deeply in and out again. And then as you breathe out,
relax yourself back. The final position, I can't teach so much as say play and flow. Try rolling to the side.
Forwards flowing, breathe in.
And come back. The mechanics are that you allow the load to lightly go through the armpit, you forwards flow, and you come back. And again.
The bigger the breathing,
the better the activation. If it's so much in your shoulder, maybe keep the rollers still and get a different sense of where the movement comes from. You're going to do the other side. So we swing our thighs, legs round. And again, I could spend a whole 10 minutes teaching how this should work. The movement is obviously armpit to rib cage, as we've been discovering in all of our sessions. Big breath in, exhaling, inhaling. And you can switch the breath on this if you want. It's meant to be, just follow your body as long as it's not accruing in the lower back or your knees. Follow the body's movement sense. That's connection, that noticing. And you will discover one side's happier, and that's about your shoulder mobility and spine stability more than anything. You've got just one more. Big breath in. And smell the breath out. Go to wherever it wants to go. And return back. Just in case I left you with an asymmetry, in other words, not quite level, pop your roller here, don't make a big deal. Exhale and roll forwards and stay with your hands draped, but sit bones heavy, the upper body relaxed, and breathe into your belly, your abdomen. Feel the fold, rib cage to navel, shoulders are relaxed, arms are relaxed, and return the posture back up, lightly flowing the roller with you, there's no force, and let that go. You now have a much more mobile part of spine, shoulder, pelvis, and greater stability. Hopefully that roller noticing and connecting made sense to your form. And as I said at the beginning of the session, I believe actually this is a video that if you have time and have a mind for it, you have to not be tired is the truth. Use your mind to make the connection. Whenever we use pieces of equipment in these sessions, the idea is that whether it's a roller, a reformer, a Cadillac, a ballet bar, a chair, it doesn't really matter. That equipment is meant to become part of you and not a battle you fight. So use your breathing. The two words would be notice the feel of the body in the roller and connect with it. All right, great day. It's horrible out there. I'm going to make birthday cakes next for yet another daughter's birthday in lockdown. This time it's Lydia. I'm not going to do that next, actually, I'm doing Zoom. But if I can say to you, if you can be here for the big 6-0 tomorrow morning, we'll try and make it fun, light, and with Tom, what else could it be? Take care, everyone, and see you soon.